Sha'Carri Richardson is a great sprinter, but there is a problem. And I think it's a big problem. And as a matter of fact, I am seeing that issue, that problem, as the main reason why Sha'Carri Richardson lost that 100-meter final to Julien Alfred yesterday. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Julien Alfred because she's a great sprinter also. She's doing well for herself and she's working herself up. She's working up to the top of the game. She's now the crowned Olympic champion, somebody from the Caribbean, and I do bigger up for that. We are really appreciative that the 100-meter crown is still in the Caribbean. So big up to Julien Alfred. But there's something that I want to point out in regards to this race, because the truth is Sha'Carri Richardson is still a faster athlete than Julien Alfred. Sha'Carri Richardson has more accomplishments than Julien Alfred so far. So we're not taking anything away from Julien Alfred, but I'm just using this to put something into context here. Now, I've been watching Sha'Carri Richardson's career since her emergence on the senior stage in 2021. I'm bringing you all the way back to the Nike Prefontaine Classic, where she was up against Elaine Thompson-Herah, Shelly Fraser-Pryce, Shericka Jackson. When you look at that race, we saw Sha'Carri Richardson finishing in 9th place at the back of the field. There was, of course, a lot of hype generated around that race because Sha'Carri was doing well for herself as a rookie sprinter. She was fast and she was making headlines, except for the fact that she got banned and was not able to participate in the Tokyo Olympic game. But looking back at that Nike Prefontaine race, we saw where Richardson was placed in the midst of the Jamaican Big Three. What that did to Richardson was that she was placed under extreme pressure and we saw her finishing at the back of the field. Now, seeing the result of that race, something struck me where I saw Sha'Carri Richardson at the back of the race in spite of how fast she was for that season. Now, that race struck something in my mind. It told me that Sha'Carri was not able to handle pressure well. Well, probably that was a fluke, or probably I might have gotten it wrong there to say that she didn't handle pressure well, because it was really her first race running against the big name athletes and all of that. And you know, Elaine and Shelly, they were almost unstoppable in 2021, and of course Shericka was just coming up the ranks, so it would have been an extremely difficult situation. So let's give that one to her. Move over into last year's World Championships in Budapest. In Budapest, we saw where in the semifinals, she was placed against Shericka Jackson and some other strong contenders in that race. And we saw where she finished third in that semifinal race. As a matter of fact, she was not an automatic qualifier. She had to wait for the times from the other races just to secure a spot in the final. Now, for me, that was telling. It was again confirming that Richardson is not able to handle pressure well. Move over into the final, where of course she won and became the world champion. She was placed in lane 9. She was basically placed away from the pressure situation. She was no longer considered to be the favorite, so the pressure was a little bit less for her in some sense. She was running in lane 9 where she was not in the midst of Shericka and Shelly Fraser-Pryce. And we saw the result of that. She came out of that race running a race by herself and winning the final. She was crowned the world champion there and then. But for me, even though she won, I still got the sense that she was not able to handle pressure well. Had she not been placed in lane 9, there was a strong possibility that she would not have come out at the top of that 100-meter race. Move over into 2024 again. We are seeing it in the semifinals of the 100 meters. She was again beaten by Julien Alfred. Into second place. Mentally, that took a strong hold on Sha'Carri Richardson, and it would seem as if she carried it over into the final, where she was still not able to recover from that loss to Julien Alfred. And we saw the pressure moment came on again. She was closer to the fire this time. She was somewhere in the middle of the pitch. She could see Julien Alfred and Julien Alfred could see her. And as a result of that, we saw where she was not even able to go 10-7 again. And we know Sha'Carri Richardson went 10-6-5 last year to win the 100-meter final. She was not able to come anywhere close this time. So in my estimation, I'm seeing the problem with Sha'Carri Richardson is that she doesn't win, she doesn't handle pressure well. I was watching this live stream with some other track and field enthusiasts, and I said to them that, listen, if you want Sha'Carri Richardson to lose this Olympic 100-meter final, put her in the midst of Shelley Fraser-Price, Shericka Jackson, and Julien Alfred, and you will see the outcome of it. Now, it is unfortunate that Shelley and the other names that I mentioned, Shericka, did not make it into that 100-meter final. But just as I predicted, put Sha'Carri closer to where the fire is, put her closer to where it's hot, and you will see that she's just going to fade into the distance. And we're not downplaying that Sha'Carri is still a great sprinter, and of course a second place finish is still a great place to be in the Olympic Games. So many persons would have wanted it. This is Sha'Carri's first Olympic. Remember, she was banned from participating in the Tokyo Olympic Games due to some issues that she had, and this is her Olympic debut. She would have wanted to win the gold, and I think she could have won it had she been better prepared mentally. I think that's where her struggle is, and not with her speed, not with her feet. Sha'Carri Richardson has the firepower to deliver the goods. Unfortunately for her, this was not one of those days where she was going to ride off into the sunset smiling. It would have been great to see her at her first Olympic doing well, and you know, the United States would be happy and rejoicing. But unfortunately, that was not the case this time. But Sha'Carri's problem is not being able to handle pressure well, and we are seeing it playing out over and over again. Some people will not acknowledge this because of the fact that maybe last year she was beating a Shericka Jackson on the circuit and all of that kind of thing, so they would have said that she was able to perform at the big moment and the big stage. Yes, she will perform, but I'm saying based on what is being laid out, Sha'Carri Richardson does not handle pressure well, and that could be the main reason why she lost the Olympic 100-meter final to Julien Alfred. But I just want to big up both athletes anyway. They both did well, and you know, it's really a good thing to see the women going out there and representing well for track and field. They have been carrying the game for a very long time. Even when the males were failing, the female sprinters, they were always out there bringing on the fireworks, and we do appreciate that. So we just want to salute Sha'Carri Richardson. Big up Julien Alfred again, another Caribbean woman who was able to step up to the plate when the dominant Jamaicans were not able to be there due to the unfortunate injury problems that they have been having all season long. But of course, the Jamaicans, we need to understand that we cannot win it all. There are going to be moments when we have to watch from the sidelines. There are going to be moments when we have to cheer for other athletes from other countries. So we just want to support the ladies, Sha'Carri Richardson, Julien Alfred. Shout out to Shelley Fraser-Price. Shout out to Shericka Jackson. Shout out to Elaine, who was not even able to make the team. But it is what it is. Again, this is where we call it for this one. Thanks for watching.